The princess was previously staying in South Africa for 8 months before recently returning home after her health scare. But after a family agreement, the 43-year-old knew she needed to take time to rest. Charlene was forced to miss Monaco TMS National Day commemorations as a result of this decision. Speaking to People magazine, Prince Albert, her husband, explained what happened following the princess returning home. He said, "It went pretty well in the first few hours, and then it became pretty evident that she was unwell. She was clearly exhausted, physically and emotionally. She was overwhelmed and couldn't face official duties, life in general or even family life." The princess had been suffering from sinus problems, which needed 2 forms of surgeries to try and contain. Prince Albert added, "This has nothing to do with our relationship. I want to make that very clear. These are not problems within our relationship, not with the relationship between a husband and wife. It TMS of a different nature. Obviously there were consequences of her different surgeries and the procedures she underwent in the last few months. That certainly was a factor, but at this point I prefer not to comment further. I can say she was suffering incredible fatigue. She hadn't slept well in a number of days and she wasn't eating at all well. She has lost a lot of weight, which made her vulnerable to other potential ailments." Speaking about the princess choosing to go for rest, the 42-year-old said, "She had already made her decision, and we only wanted her to confirm it in front of us. She wanted this. She already knew the best thing to do was to go and have a rest and have a real, medically framed treatment. And not in Monaco. For privacy reasons, it would have to be someplace outside of Monaco. She realized that she needed help. You can force anyone to understand that they need treatment, they have to accept that themselves." Prince Albert acknowledged the impact this absence from his wife would have on their children, 6-year-old twins, Jacques and Gabriella, as he said, "Of course they have suffered from the absence of their mother, but they have had enough activities and they are surrounded by family, which means they do not lack affection." Widdicombe spoke to Express.co.uk and took issue with the Sussexes' victim mentality and said the couple continue to moan despite being privileged beyond belief. Ms. Widdicombe added Prince Harry was very damaging to the royal family, and disliked how the Duke continued to attack his relatives despite leaving the institution. The ex-Conservative MP feared, in the end, people would simply laugh at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as she says things will begin to crumble around the couple. Ms. Widdicombe was asked for her views on Prince Harry and Meghan after Ofcom did not uphold complaints made against Piers Morgan's on Good Morning Britain. She said, "On a more serious note, I think Harry is very damaging to the royals, he must be personally very hurtful to the Queen. And I think they should keep quiet. I mean they are privileged beyond belief and they moan that they were cut off financially. What a joke, $11 million California mansion, and it's just unbelievable. They are privileged, they are professional victims, they are professional whingers, and having said that they wanted privacy, they've done nothing except publicize every last detail of life." Ms. Widdicombe concluded, "In the end, many people will simply laugh at the couple." Despite Mr. Morgan's departure from GMB, the Sussexes have not avoided criticisms on the programme. Host Richard Madeley took aim at Prince Harry and Meghan during a debate on the M25 climate change protesters and said those promoting big issues should practice what they preach. He told the show, "I think it TMS when people are in a position to lecture us go and do something different. I am thinking about Harry and Meghan, who about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, made a big deal about not flying. And at the same time, they were kind of flying down to see Elton John on his private jet, and making other flights. Harry made a flight to go to a sports tournament the other day and then flew back." Ms. Widdicombe was then asked her thoughts on the Ofcom decision against Meghan Markle. She said, "Oh, I'm cheering, I have tried to keep my Express column as much as I can a Sussex-free zone because they thrive on the publicity. But I'm making an exception on this occasion because I'm positively cheering. I think it is high time Meghan was cut down to size. I think she's had the most dreadful influence on Harry. If ever I made a prediction that was true, it was the one that I made on Big Brother and was reviled for the time when I said she could be trouble. Well, I don't think anybody's wondering why I said that. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family in January 2020 to pursue an independent life away from the institution. He told Oprah, "We've got what my mum left me, and without that, we would not have been able to do this. We hadn't thought about money. There were all sorts of different options, and look, from my perspective, all I needed was enough money to be able to pay for security to keep my family safe." Since leaving the royal family, Prince Harry has signed deals with streaming giants Netflix and Spotify, joined mental health coaching company BetterUp, helped organize Vax Live, and has been involved in the charitable ventures backed by his company Archual. Prince Harry was recently defended by Democrat Ruben Gallego after the Duke was attacked for his recent Time magazine cover. Political commentator Matt Walsh tweeted out the photo and called Prince Harry a beta male, to which Mr. Gallego retweeted and said, "There was a bounty put on Harry TM's head when he served in Afghanistan as an attack pilot. He chose to still go. That doesn't TMT sound very beta to me." Biographer Omid Scooby also defended Prince Harry when his Armchair Expert podcast was released. He tweeted, "As Mental Health Awareness Week ends, perhaps the past 24 hours can be something we all reflect on. A mental health activist opening up about their own experiences, only to be torn apart for doing the thing that so many are working tirelessly to destigmatize. This is not progress." Duke and Duchess of Sussex are expected to travel to the UK to christen their daughter in Windsor Castle, just as they did with their son Archie Harrison in 2019. A UK christening would also offer an opportunity for the Queen to meet her great-granddaughter for the first time. A royal expert claimed that tensions between the Harry and Meghan and the royal family were still very raw, and a christening held in the UK would be important for optics. Pod Save the Queen is a podcast hosted by Zoe Forsey and featuring Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. Mr. Myers said, "Does it matter? Yeah, it probably does matter in terms of optics. I suppose on their side it would be a welcoming back into the family. I think there is a lot to be discussed across the family. My understanding is that those discussions have not happened." This year Harry has only returned to the UK for Prince Philip TM's funeral, and to unveil a statue of his late mother Princess Diana, while Meghan hasn't TMT been back since March 2020. Mr. Myers added, "I would have thought if they were going to do it in the UK, it would be a great opportunity to come over, have the christening and see the family at Christmas. It doesn't TMT look like that TM's going to happen." I know there had been certain discussions whether the family had certain views as to whether Lilibet should be christened in the United Kingdom. However, let's look at the facts here. Archie was christened over here. Lilibet and Archie TM's great-grandmother is the head of the church in the United Kingdom, so it would make perfect sense for her to be christened here like her brother was. But will it happen in the US? I don't TMT know. I think there are certain discussions to be had, maybe they have certain views on it. The royal expert added, "I TMLL put my neck out, I don't TMT think she will be christened in the United Kingdom." Mr. Myers also commented on an announcement that the Duke of Sussex would not attend a reception in the UK next Tuesday for the donors who raised money to erect a statue of Diana. In July, Prince William and Harry came together for a ceremony in Kensington Palace TM's sunken garden to unveil a statue of the Princess of Wales on what would have been her 60th birthday. Mr. Myers said, "Prince Harry TM's not coming back for this Princess Diana reception that has been put on for the donors who raised money for the statue. People like Sir Elton John raised money for the statue to be erected. The boys were very happy and smiling when the statue was unveiled, and should he be there, it probably would have been a nice gesture for him to come." To subscribe to Pod Save the Queen, go to your normal podcast provider.